So lots of anger again this morning on Merseyside, across the northwest and across the north. You might have seen the Times article this morning. You might have seen Steve Rotherham talking on Good Morning Britain. Leaders are angry because they weren't warned of further restrictions that look like they're coming in from the government, and they will include the closing of pubs, of restaurants and bars altogether. Paul Askew from the art school here in Liverpool. How are you feeling this morning? It's probably a stupid question, Paul, but how have you taken this news?
Yeah, I think we are all a little shell-shocked. If I'm completely honest, I think it's been feeling like it did in March for the last couple of weeks now. I think it's that gradual imposition of restrictions. It's been like the death of a thousand cuts, if you like, with the curfew, with the single household booking scenario. I think, if I'm honest, I think that the lockdown is probably better than being open where we were before, because it's so hard to manage a restaurant or a bar or a hospitality venue when the revenue is gradually being sucked away and you're still trying to pay staff and rent and everything else. So it's incredibly difficult. And I think this is all hinging on the support package that's now going to be put in place. So, we're waiting to hear the detail now, aren't we?
So do you have any information? They've said there will be support for hospitality and leisure. Do you know any information at all, Paul?
It's all about the devil in the detail for me. They have announced that there will be an enhanced salary package. And for me, obviously, we need to see exactly what those figures mean. But the problem is that doesn't pay the rent, that doesn't pay the suppliers, it doesn't pay the overhead. So it's all very, very difficult to see where we're going until that is released. I have to say, though, I take my hat off to our own city council, who started a support package probably 2-3 weeks ago, which will come out this week. Actually, the criteria will be released for the hospitality businesses. And just to really say thank you for having the foresight and for backing the city's hospitality businesses 120%, because they really have gone to town for us and continue to challenge government to match what they're doing, and hopefully, who knows, get us a little bit more as well. So it's terrible news, but it is being mitigated, is what I would say, Jay.
I made up that you said that, Paul, and you brought that up, because a lot of people look into our local leaders and, even giving them a bit of stick on social media. And those people need to realise that they are trying their very best for this city, and they're trying to do what's right for us and for local businesses. 40 million this week, as you said, put together from Liverpool City Council and the region and City Region as a whole, which is incredible. Do we know when them funds are available, Paul, or what happens with that emergency aid fund?
Yeah, so they're currently working through how the application process can work and looking at the criteria. The idea, obviously, is to get the money into the economy as quick as possible. So we're hearing that the criteria will be released either Friday or Monday, and they're going to treat it very much like they did in the first round with the discretionary fund and the business rates fund that came out at the very beginning of the first lockdown. And last time they got, they paid out millions within 10 days. They were one of the fastest councils in the UK. So we're assured that, they're on it, they're working for us. And as you just said, they've got our backs and really are pushing very, very hard. So it's the first time I can honestly say where, private sector and local government are really working hand in hand to get this done.
It's great to see. It really has been incredible how they have worked and done this. Paul, I've been in your restaurant. I was in about 3 or 4 weeks after you reopened. It was so COVID secure. It was unbelievable. And I felt so safe in there as someone who's classed as high risk. And for me, it's just so ridiculous when you think I can go to Tesco and be around 100 people. I can get on a bus. I can't come and sit somewhere like your restaurant, which is completely spaced, all the staff in visors, and you feel so safe. It must really anger the likes of you, seeing these restrictions tightened.
Yeah, it is incredibly frustrating, Jay. I mean, we've spent a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of training to get the environment the way we wanted it. We feel that we've gone above and beyond all that, and well, I know we have, and have almost created our own gold standard. And I think what you'll see with the criteria that comes out for the funding, actually, that there will be a further requirement for businesses to make sure they are meeting that before they're entitled to the funding. The problem that we have with supermarkets is that because they're classed as an essential, premises to go and buy food and supplies for the household, they can't really put restrictions on supermarkets other than make sure that they're COVID safe. So it's so frustrating to us when we know that we're a food outlet. If you like, one of the reasons we diversified with the Emporium was to make sure that we're able to be classified like that, so that if a lockdown comes, we can still at least have something open. But it does feel like that it always is slanted against hospitality. So I think that's why we all feel aggrieved, even though we may understand the principle of it. The reality of it is quite different, isn't it?
You're one of the faces, if you like, of hospitality in the city. A lot of really small restaurants, cafes, bistros, bars, pubs. Some really new. What advice would you give to the young restaurateurs and anyone who's worried now within hospitality? What would you say to them?
You got to hold your nerve. You've got to not try and get too wound up in the media frenzy, because it does tend to make things 10 times worse when you're hearing such different points of view from all different angles. What I would say is, if you're confused about what's going on, get involved with Liverpool Hospitality Association. Your voice is always welcome and it's always listened to, and we could probably answer most of the questions for you. And I think Big Ben's.
There's the announcement.
That's me being taken down to be garroted, I think. Yeah. If one good thing has come out of this, it is the collaborative work of our colleagues and friends and City Council, as well as, not just the officers, but the members themselves have been so supportive of each other. And it's actually been a joy to see that. Sort of restores your faith in the world, doesn't it, when you see friends pulling together and looking out for each other. So, don't feel that you're isolated. Don't feel that you're on your own with this. We can help. We can give you a bigger voice. And, let's get through this together is the message from me.
Okay. And just finally, Paul, just tell us about the Emporium and obviously the art school. Once you reopen fully again, the Emporium will still be running, I presume?
Yeah, well, assuming that the lockdown is similar rules to before, as I alluded to, the Emporium was designed to almost future-proof us a little bit, and we will remain open as a shop because we're allowed to, because we sell food, etc., as well as nice wines and other things. But also what we're going to click into is our Art School at Home box service. So you can see now that we're diversifying again, and we're actually being able to do a set of menus where you can collect a box, go home with some nice instructions from me, hopefully a little bottle of wine to keep your spirits high, and cook something nice at home, although most of the work is done for you, actually, because I've done that. But yeah, it's like anything, Jay. We've got to find a way and try and keep smiling, because it's just such a complex, horrible thing to deal with. But we've got to be there on the other side of it, haven't we? We've got to make the city great again.
Absolutely. Listen, Paul, you've been a fantastic voice and a face for hospitality in Liverpool and on Merseyside throughout all of this. So thank you very much, and thanks for chatting to us today. We wish you the best of luck, Paul.
Thanks, Jay. Thank you.